Hello, Siddhant.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So today I'm going to start error analysis. Okay, error
Okay,
analysis.
sir.
In our last lecture, I've discussed about the units, units and some numbers,
Problems and
problems.
applications of dimensional analysis.
Uh,
And
and
we saw significant figures and some questions.
uh and we have finished that part. And today I'm going to start with error analysis. Okay, error analysis. So basically, if we talk about error, then we basically talked about two types of error. The first one is systematic error. Systematic error. Systematic error. And the other one is random error. Okay, random error. So what is the difference between this systematic and random error? So basically systematic error, in systematic error, we can define the cause. Okay, so cause can be identified in systematic errors. Cause can be identified. Identified. Cause can be identified. Basically, in error analysis, we basically find what is the error. Okay, how your value is different from the actual value. Okay, how your value is different from the actual value.
Sir, what is the first word you wrote after systematic error?
Cause can be identified.
Okay.
Cause of the error can be identified. Okay, for example, cause can be identified. One more thing about systematic error, these errors are basically removable errors. These errors are removable error. Okay, these errors are basically removable. Suppose a student is taking measurement of oscillations of a simple pendulum. Okay, oscillations of a simple pendulum. He is taking measurement how many oscillations in there in a particular time. And suppose somebody owns the fan. Okay, so due to the air of fan, these oscillations get disturbed. Okay, so there will be error in this system. Okay. So, but you know what is the cause of this error? You can switch off that fan again. So in that process, you remove that error, and your oscillation you will get fine oscillation after there is no error in the room. Okay. So these type of errors are basically systematic errors. Okay. In this type of errors, that you know what is the cause, you can remove that cause, and you will get your fine values. Now let's talk about random errors. Okay, what are the random errors? So these errors are basically always present in a measurement. So these errors always present in a measurement. Okay, always present in the measurement. So when you repeat any experiment, suppose you are finding a length, okay, of an object, then every time when you repeat your measurement, you will get different value. Okay, suppose you want to find the radius of this pen. Okay, the radius or diameter, and you try to find out the radius by using vernier calipers, and every time you will find its radius, you will get some different number, like suppose 0.51 centimeter, and next time you will get 0.50 centimeter. So there is fraction of error, very small error, and you will get every time. Okay, so these are type of error we call random error. Okay, a random error. So you will get different values different results for same repeated measurements. For same repeated measurement. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And these you can't remove these errors. These you can't remove these errors. Can't be removable. Okay. So
Yes.
is it I think it is very clear what are systematic error and what are random errors. Any confusion? Huh?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. So now let's go to the next part of this error analysis. Okay. So our focus is basically on random error. Our focus is basically on random error. So if these error are basically, these are can't be removable, but you can minimize this random error. You can minimize. And how can you minimize this error? By taking number of measurement. If you repeat your measurement, then you will get some value. Suppose first time you get 0.51, next time you get 5.52, third time you get 0.51 again. So by repeating your measurement and by taking average of all these values, you can minimize your error. Okay, you can approximately reach the exact value, not exactly. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
next part of this error analysis is accuracy and precision. What is accuracy and precision? So what is accuracy? What is accuracy and precision? Okay. So suppose you have a object whose mass is exactly defined as 0.520. Okay, it's the exact value, yeah, true value. Okay, any object have mass 0.520 gram. Okay, this is the exact value of this mass. And some students trying to observe this mass by doing experiment, and their results are, so I'm drawing a table. Suppose a student A takes some measurement 1, measurement 1, another measurement 2, and another measurement, which is measurement 3. Okay, so suppose a student takes first measurement and he gets some values 0.52 gram. Okay, and in his next measurement he gets some value which is 0.51 gram. Okay, and in his third measurement he gets some value like 0.50 gram. Okay, and if we take average of all this value, so the average value is 0.51 gram. Okay, so these are some measurements which he got in his experiment for finding the true value of m. Okay, suppose next student B taking observation, and the first value he got is 0.516 gram.
Sir, should I write this?
No, wait for just
Yes, sir.
listen.
After you explain.
After. So another student B, he take first measurement which is value 0.516 gram, In his second measurement, he got value 0.515, and third measurement, he got value 0.514. Okay, these three values again, all in gram, and gram. So this, the average value is 0.515 gram. Okay. Now another student C is taking measurement, and its first value is 0.521, and next 0.520, and next is 0.520 gram, and this is the value 0.520 gram. Listen, so the true value is 0.520, and student A is taking observation, and his first measurement value is 0.52 gram, and he directly jumped 0.52 to 0.51. Okay, his value reduces, but here listen, the exact value is 0.520, and here he directly jumped from 2 to 1 and 1 to 0. Okay, there are some other digits like 0.519, 0.518, yeah, 0.521. Okay, these are missing. Means the third decimal place is missing. This is not present here. Na? Okay, so that's value. The observation of student A is not precise and not accurate. So student A, the value of student A measurement is not precise and not accurate. Okay. Next, student B. So the exact value, or true value, is 0.520, and the first measurement of student B is 0.516. Next 0.515, and next 0.514. Okay. So you can say the data is precise, but it's not accurate, because the accurate value is 0.520, so it's almost very close to 0.520. But his measurement are 0.516, 515, 514. So these are basically, the measurements are precise, but these are not accurate. Is it clear what is precise meaning?
Sir, in student A, the measurement 1 is 0.52,
5
and
uh,
their m is equal to 0.520. It's same only, no?
Same, but there is a difference. It's like it has 3 decimal, it has 3 decimal places there, 520. Okay, but it
Okay.
has only 0.52, and it again jumped to 0.51. Okay,
Okay, sir, clear.
0.51. So the value should go like 0.52 to 0.519, 0.516, 0.515. So there are basically 10 values which are basically missing. The student A jumps directly from 0.5 to 0.51. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, clear.
Okay. Just like student B, 0.516, 0.515, 0.514. Okay. Okay. So here basically it's all about significant figures. That's we studied. Here are only two numbers after decimal point, and here basically 3 numbers after decimal point. Okay. So the data, the measurement of student B are basically data is precise but not accurate. Data is precise but not accurate. Now the last measurement of student C, in his first measurement he got the value 0.521, which is very close to 0.520. In his next measurement he got the value like 0.520, which is exact matches with our true value. And in his third measurement he got the value 0.520 again. So the average is 0.520. So the data of student C is precise as well as accurate. Okay. So student C, data is precise. Data is precise as well as accurate. And accurate. Okay, is it clear? What is accuracy
Yes,
and
sir.
precision in
Yes, sir.
measurement?
Clear.
Okay. Now, sometimes teacher asks, what is accuracy and precision in a data, and they will give you some data, and they will ask what is precise value, what is accurate value in this table. Okay. Now let's come to, okay, write down all the things. Take some notes.
Yes, sir, I'm writing.
Right. Okay.
Sir, last line.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir, done.
Okay. So now you clearly understood that what is how many types of error. Okay. So let's talk about error in measurements. Error in measurements. Okay. So the error is, or you can say the formula of error is, it's basically true value. What's the true value or absolute value of the object minus measured value. Measured value. Okay. So in our last data, the true value is 0.520, and here the measured value is like 0.521. Okay. So if we talk about the error, so what is the error? So 0.520, which is true value, minus 0.521. Okay, measured value. So here the error is 0.001 minus. Error can be negative or positive, but you always take positive value. So this is your error. In our next observation, suppose like somewhere here, so you will get some value like 0.520 minus 0.516. Okay. So in this way you can find the error. So come to again our point. So the formula of finding the error, basically error is equals to true value minus measured value. Suppose in an observation, true value is like 5.25 centimeter. Okay, if somebody is trying to find a length of any object, and he find the exact value or true value is 5.25, and his first measurement, in his first measurement, he measured value like 5.24 centimeter. So what is the error this time? What is the error? Error is true value is 5.25 and measured value is 5.24. So now here the error is
0.01.
0.01 centimeter. Okay. Next, suppose measured value is more than your true value. Suppose some student find the measured value is like 5.26 this time. So what will be the error? Error is like 5.25 minus 5.26, and here you
Minus 0.01.
minus 0.01 centimeter. So this is it. So error can be negative or positive. Okay, but in our calculation we will take some magnitude of this value. We will take always positive value. I will discuss it in our next part. So now this is all about error in measurement. Now the very important part of this topic is what is absolute error, what is relative error, and what is percentage error, and how to find these error. Okay, so next part which I'm going to discuss is like, okay, write down heading absolute error, absolute error, and relative error, and percentage error. Okay, and try to remember this formula, which is error is equals to true value minus measured value. This is the most fundamental formula. Okay, so next part is like absolute error, relative error, and percentage error. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now, as we know that random error can be minimized by repeating the experiment by large number of times. Okay. So when you repeat your experiment, you will get a lot of values. Okay, suppose you get first value like A1, and you repeat your experiment, you get another value which is A2. You repeat your experiment, you get another value which is A3, and you repeated your experiment so many times, and you get a lot of different your value which is different from true values. So now the absolute value, and which we also called true value, can be find by taking the average of all these values, so which is denoted as a symbol a bar, or you can say that a mean, which is A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus up to AN divided by small n.
This is the formula.
This is the formula. This is the formula to find the absolute value, or we can say that true value. Okay. To be very clear, what is A1, A2, A3 here? Okay. A1, A2, A3 are basically the measurement values. Okay, the measurement value. Okay, suppose somebody takes the true value is like 5.25. Somebody is trying to observe any length of that object. So in his first measurement, he get value like 5.24. In his another measurement, he get value like 5.53, 23, something like that. Okay, these are measured value. Is it clear? What is the value? What is A1, A2,
Yes,
A3?
sir.
It's like measured value in each and every observation. Now let's talk about error. Okay, error. So first we define the this is absolute value. Write it down. This is the absolute value. And next, I'm going to talk about absolute error. Absolute error. Everything will be very clear when we do some numericals on this concept. Okay, but first write it down all the formulas. So absolute error. So in our first measurement, the absolute error is in our first measurement, let's suppose our error is delta A1, which is defined as mean minus your average value minus first observed value, A bar minus A1. Here A1 is here, and delta A1 is like A bar means this A bar minus A1. So you will get your first absolute error in your first measurement.
Sir, so for finding absolute error, first we should find the absolute value.
Yeah.
And then
First,
minus it with A1.
Minus with A1. We will do this process in our numericals. Okay. Another, suppose in second measurement, the absolute error is like A bar minus A2. Okay. Suppose in our third measurement, like the third absolute error is like delta A3 is A bar minus A3. And each and every observation there is absolute error. So in your nth observation, nth measured value, the absolute error is defined as A bar minus AN. Okay. Now what is the mean absolute error, or we generally call this as absolute error? Okay, so this is the absolute error in first measurement, this is absolute error in second measurement, this is absolute error in third measurement, and this is absolute error in nth measurement. And now mean absolute error, which we generally call absolute error, mean absolute error, which is defined as taking average of all absolute error, which is delta AN bar is equals to, here we take the positive values. Okay, yeah, as you know, your error can be positive or negative, but here we will take magnitude or mod of that all the values. Delta A2 plus delta A3 plus up to delta AN divided by small n, total number of measurements. So this is the formula for finding mean absolute error. Okay. So here the first formula number 1, which is absolute value or true value. Okay, you can find this formula, which is A bar is equals to A mean, which is taking the average of all measured values, and this is the formula for absolute error. Okay, this is the formula number 2. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going the another part of this topic, which is finding relative error, which is finding the relative error. Relative error. Okay, so there it is basically the ratio of mean absolute error with true value, or okay. So it is the ratio of mean absolute error, mean absolute error to the value of measured quantity. Okay, so this is delta A. Small delta A is equals to capital delta A bar divided by A. Okay, so you can write this as absolute error divided by absolute value. Okay, value of measured quantity means absolute value. So this is a formula to finding the relative error. Okay, this is formula number 3. So there are basically four things which comes in this topic in error analysis. First, you have to find what is your true value. Second thing, you have to find the absolute error or mean absolute error. And third thing which you have to find what is relative error, and by using this formula. And the fourth one is percentage error.
Sir, what you wrote after the value of
error? The ratio of mean absolute error to the value of measured quantity. The value of measured.
Okay, sir.
Measured.
Answer the formula starting. What is that?
This is small delta. This is small delta A. This is simple small delta. This we call capital delta. Okay. So this small delta A is equals to which shows the relative error is equal to true value minus true value divided by absolute error divided by absolute value. Okay.
Yes.
Now next, what is percentage error? Percentage error. Fourth formula you will get. So the percentage error is defined as percentage error is equal to relative error multiplied with 100. So that's the value in percentage. So that is basically delta A bar divided by A bar into 100. It's a formula to finding percentage error. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Write it so that we can go to the numerical part to apply this all the formula. Okay. So one more thing. What is the representation of writing an error? The correct value. How you will write representation? Next part, which is representation. Representation is like so suppose your true value or absolute value, you find some like absolute value and plus minus your absolute error. Okay, so this is the way you represent your exact value. Exact value. Okay, so absolute value plus minus absolute. Okay, suppose you get some value like 2.25 and it has some error like plus 0.01 and minus 0.01. So you will write this like 0.01. So this is the representation. Plus minus means it have error values like 0.01 plus 0.01 and another live 0 minus 0.01. So in its first measured value is like 0.24 and another measured value is like 0.26. Okay, so this is the representation. All things will be very clear in our next problem which I am going to solve. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go to the problem. Have you taken all the notes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's go to the numerical part. The first question, I will do, I think, 2 problems on this topic, and all thing will be very clear on based these 2 problems. The first problem is like the length of a rod as measured in experiment as measured in a experiment was found to be 2.48 meter. Another value is 2.46 meter. Another value is 2.49 meter. Another value is 2.50 meter. And another value is 2.48 meter. So these are basically measured value now, as I discussed. These are basically A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. Okay. So
Yes,
now
sir.
you have to find, first thing, find the average length. Find the average length. Next, find the absolute error. Find the absolute error and find the percentage error. Find the percentage. Find the percentage error. Okay. And one more thing I'm adding, without finding that, we can't find the percentage error. So find the relative error. Find the relative error. Okay. All the things will come in this problem. So first thing, you have the data like 2.48, 2.46, 2.49, 2.50, 2.5. The average formula for average length. So here the values of like A1 is equal to 2.48, A2 is 2.46, and A3 is 2.49, and A4 is 2.50, and A5 is 2.48. So the average value, or we can say the average length or absolute length, okay, is the average of all this measured value, like A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5 divided by Siddhant. What's the value?
Sir, 5.
5, exactly. 5. So let's put the value like 2.48 plus 2.46 plus 2.49 plus 2.50 plus 2.48 divided by 5. So you will get the average value, but so this, if you add up all the things, you will get the value 12.41 divided by 5, and that is basically 2.482. So here all the values have 3 significant figures, here 4 significant figures. So we have to round off up to 2 place. That's why we learned what is how to find round off. So if we take round off, so the exact value is 2.48. Yeah, or we can say absolute value or average length. Okay.
Yes, sir.
First point clear. The absolute
Yes,
length,
sir.
the first part is clear. So here the absolute value is 2.48. Now let's come to the error part. Second, the absolute error. The absolute error. Okay, so in our first measurement, the absolute error is, which is delta L1, because here I'm taking A1, A2 now. So it's better if I choose L1, L2, but it's okay. Here I'm taking delta A1 again. Delta A1. So the absolute error is like delta A1. It's a true value minus measured value. What is the true value? Is 2.48. And what is the measured value? Measured value is again 2.48. What is the error? Is 0.00. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Next, delta A2. Now I can do fast. Delta A2 is like 2.42, which is our true value, minus its measured value, it's like 2.46. So here the value is 0.0. Is it clear? Now next, A3. What is the value of A3? A3, 2.48 minus 2.49. So what is the value? Minus 0.01.
Minus 0.1.
Okay. So now next part is delta A4 is again 2.48 minus 2.50. So here minus 0.02. Okay. And final delta A5 is equal to 2.48 minus, what is the fifth value? Fifth value is 2.48 minus 2.48. So the value is 0.01. Okay. So here you can apply the formula for finding the mean absolute error or absolute error. So absolute error, which is delta A bar, okay, which is equal to,
Sir, delta A5 will be 0.00, right?
delta A1,
A5.
A5, 0.00. That's correct. 0.00. Okay. So delta A bar, which is delta A mean, it is also called delta A mean, is by taking the average of all these absolute errors. So we always take the mod of these value, yani delta A1 plus delta A2 plus delta A3 plus delta A4 plus delta A5 divided by 5. Okay, so let's take all the values, all the positive values, 0.00 plus another 0.02 plus here negative value will vanish because we have taken mod. Okay, plus 0.01 plus 0.02 plus 0.00 divided by 5. Okay, so 22415. So the error is 0.05 divided by 5. So here the value is 0.01. Okay, meter.
Yes.
So the correct length, so the representation of correct length. So correct length is defined as correct length or exact length, which is equal to, what is the representation? Is like true value. What is the true value or absolute value? 2.48 plus minus error 0.01 meter. Okay, in this way you will define this values.
2.49.
No, not 2.49. 2.48 is actual value, and
okay.
And
So we won't add
0.0 is the error. So you always write this thing like 2.48 plus minus 0.01.
Okay, sir.
So this is basically this is uncertainty. This part is certain. This part is uncertain. it have a plus zero. If you take measurement, then it increase or decrease by this value. This is the mean of. Okay, this is the current length, but if you are taking some observation or taking some measurement, then there is a chance this value get decrease or increase by 0.01. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
So let's go to the next part of this problem, the third, which is relative error. Relative error. The formula for relative error is like delta A bar divided by A bar. So as in the presentation is clearly shown that this is your basically delta A bar. Okay. And
Yes.
here this is A bar. So that's very easy. If you write your result in this form, 2 minus 48 plus minus 0. In this form, so you can directly find what is the relative error is delta A bar n means 0.01 divided by 2.48. So this is the value. And what is percentage error?
Into 100.
Into 100. So again, in our next part, which is percentage error, it's like 0.01 divided by 2.48.
0.40%.
It's like 0.40%. Okay, 0.4. So you can write your result in the form of percent. Like you can also write your correct length is equal to correct length is equal to 2.48 plus minus 0.40%. Okay, so you can say that it has some error 0.40%, and this is the exact value. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's do one more problem on this topic, so we will get all the points. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Should I go on next problem?
Yes, sir.
So the next problem is in successive measurement. Right, problem. In successive measurement, my font size is large enough. Okay.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
In successive measurements, the reading of period of oscillations, the reading of periods of oscillations of a simple pendulum are found to be 2.63, the next value is 2.56, and the next value is 2.42, and next value is 2.71. All the values in seconds. Okay, second, and one more value, it's 2.80 second. 80. All the values in second. So you have to find, first part is mean value of the period of oscillations. Mean or absolute value of the period of oscillation. Okay. So try to find first part.
Yes, sir.
Try to find, then I will discuss. Mean value. Okay, mean value means here the all the values are representing the time period. So I am representing t. T bar, capital T bar.
Sir, so is it necessary that we should do it as a T or something else?
No, 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 it's not necessary. You can use any symbol. Okay, you can again use your symbol like A.
Okay, sir.
You can use your symbol A. A bar or A mean you have to find. So again, you have to use the formula like A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5 divided by 5. A bar.
Sir, so here 4, okay, 5 value.
5 value. First one is 2.63, another 2.56, another 2.42 plus 2.71, and the last one 2.80 divided by 5. So you will get your mean or absolute value. Okay, are you doing it?
Yes, sir, I'm good.
Okay.
Sir, 262.4
Okay, so let me cross check your answer. It's like 13.12 by 5.
by 5.
And after it, you will get the value 2.624 second. Okay, so
Sir, 2 decimal places, so 26.24.
exactly, you have to round it off to the 2 decimal places or 3 significant figures. So in that case, you will get the value 2.62 because 4 is basically less than 5. So
Less
you have
than
to
5.
put as it is the value. So 2.62 second is the mean absolute value. Next part is find the absolute error. Next part, second, find the absolute error. Absolute error. So in our first measurement, you get the absolute error delta A1 is equals to A bar minus A1. So here the A bar is 2.62 and the measured value is 2.63. So it's minus 0.01. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next, delta A2. What is the value of delta A2? Again, A bar minus A2. So what is the value? Yes.
Minus 0.06.
Exactly. 2.56. So if the value is positive, is 0.06 second. All the values in second. Next, delta A3. Delta A3 is 2. I'm writing directly 2.63 minus 2.42. So this is a large value, 2.42. Okay.
0.21.
No, it's 0.62 minus 2.42.
Yes, sir. So 0.20.
0.20 second. Next, delta A4. It's 2.62 minus 2.71. Okay. So here you will get value
0.09.
0.09 second.
Minus 0.09.
Yeah, minus. And the last one is delta A5. Its value is 0.18.
0.12.
2.62 minus 2.80.
80, yes.
So that's why you will get the value is 0.18, negative of 0.18 second. These are basically absolute error in each measurement. Okay, this is in first measurement, second, third, fourth, fifth. Now the mean absolute error, or we can say that absolute error mean, that is represented as delta A bar, which is equal to magnitude of delta A1, okay, plus mod of delta A2. Always use positive values here, okay. Delta A3 plus delta A4 plus delta A5 divided by 5. So here the value is like magnitude of 0.01. Okay, so I'm using only positive values, 0.06 plus 0.20 plus 0.09 plus 0.18 divided.
Sir, delta A1 is minus 0.01.
That's why I'm taking mod value.
Oh, yes, sir, mod.
So you have to consider only positive values. Okay. You always add errors. Okay, you never subtract errors. This is the key point for solving numericals in error analysis. Always take positive values. Either it is negative or positive. We will do some more problems on this topic. So now if you take the average value, it will be like 0.54 divided by 5, and it's like 0.108. So some value is like 0.11 second. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So the error value is like delta A bar, which is 0.01 second. So the exact value, how you will represent it? So exact value, or I say capital T here, the exact time period, exact time period, which is nothing but your measured value. Measured value is like what's the
2.62
2.62 plus minus
0.11.
0.11. Now it's very easy to find relative error. Next part is to find relative error. Relative error, or you find relative error is like delta A bar divided by A bar.
Yes.
So here delta A bar is 0.11 and A bar is 2.62. I think now you are very familiar with the problems.
Yes.
And this is the value like 0.04, something like that. And after that, you can find the percentage error.
0.4.
Exactly. Multiply with 100.
Yes.
So it's like is equal to 0.11 divided by 2.62 into 100%. It's like 0.04 into 100%, so it's 4%. So you will have the error is 4%. So now you can again write in terms of absolute error, you will write your result in terms of absolute error. Your result is 2.62 plus minus 0.11 second. And in terms of percentage error, your exact value is 2.62 plus minus 4%. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I think these two problems are enough on this topic.
Yes, sir. Clear.
These two now all the things I discussed in error analysis. Now in the next part of error analysis, like combination of errors. Okay, combinations of errors. Okay. So let's go to the next
Yes, sir.
part. Combinations of it. Up to now, I've discussed what is basically error, some introduction about errors, what kind of errors, and after that, the main part of this analysis, on which a lot of questions can be asked in your schools, that how to find absolute value, how to find absolute error, how to find relative error, and how to find percentage error. These are all on formula base, and you can solve all the problems on this error, finding errors. Okay. Now let's go to the combination of it. Is it clear, or you have any query or question?
No, sir, clear.
Okay. So now let's go to the next part, combination of errors. Combination of errors. Okay. So combination of errors, or you can say that some algebra of errors, of errors. Okay. So it's all about, how to add two errors, how to subtract two errors, or you basic algebra behind errors. So suppose the first I'm going to talk, first thing is error in the sum of two quantities. Error in the sum of two quantities. Two quantities. Okay. So suppose the first quantity is capital A, and the measured value of A, measured value of A is equal to A plus minus delta A. Okay, measured value means A is true value plus minus error in A. Okay, two quantities. There are two quantities. First quantity which has value A plus minus delta A, and another quantity whose measured value of B is equal to B plus minus delta B. Okay, suppose you can assume, suppose a body has certain temperature like T plus minus delta T. Okay, T1 plus minus delta T1, and another body which has temperature T2 plus minus delta T. Okay, and if you add these two bodies, like if you add two bodies, Z is equals to A plus B. Okay, Z is equals to A plus B. So in this case, the error in Z, the error in Z is delta Z. So you can write Z plus minus delta Z is equal to A plus B plus minus delta A plus delta B. Okay, this is a formula.
What you
So,
wrote after Z is equal to A plus B.
yeah, Z, here I write Z is equals to A plus B, and delta Z is basically delta A plus delta B.
Okay.
Okay. So Z, here delta Z is basically delta A plus delta B. So in this way, you can add two errors.
So that is A plus B plus or minus delta A plus delta B, right?
Huh. It's A plus B plus minus delta A plus delta B. So this part is basically certain part, or true values, and basically these are true values, and these are basically errors. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So in this way, you can add two quantities. Suppose I will do some numerical on this part. So That now next part is difference, error in difference of two quantities. Here the next part B, which is error in the difference of two quantities. Error in the difference of two quantities. Two quantities. Okay. So the formula is same as above. The formula is same as above. Like if two quantities is like A and B, and its true value is defined as Z is equals to A minus B. So here you can write the error in Z is Z plus minus delta Z is equal to A minus B plus minus delta A plus delta B. Remember, error always added. Error always gets added. So here delta Z is equal to delta A plus delta B. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So error basically never gets subtracted. It always get added. Okay. One error minus second error, it's get some big error. Okay. So remember, if it is plus or minus, the value of Z is basically A minus B. The error formula for error is same. Is again delta A plus delta B. Delta A plus delta B. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Now let's do some problem on these two parts. There are basically five formulas for combination of error. So these are basically two, or you can say only one formula. Let's do a problem. Are you familiar with resistance?
Sir, yes, sir.
Basically resistance, the unit of resistance is ohm, and we use resistance for running a current in a circuit. Okay, so you don't know the physics behind resistance, you just have idea about okay what is a resistance at some value, because I'm going to do a problem on using this error analysis. So the question is, suppose a resistance has a value R1 is equals to 100 plus minus 3 ohm, and another resistance which value is like 200 plus minus 4 ohm. In first resistance there is a error is 3, and in second resistance there is error is 4 ohm unit. Find the equivalent resistance. Find the sum or equivalent resistance. So what you have to do? You have to just take the sum of these two quantities, yani capital R is equals to R1 plus R2. And what is the value of R1 is 100 plus minus 3 ohm plus 200 plus minus 4 ohm. Okay, so what will be your answer? What is your answer? 100 plus 200, as I used in formula. 100 plus 200 yani 300 plus minus add the errors 3 plus 4 yani 7. Okay, so the result is like 300 plus minus 7 ohm. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
It's very easy question. Now one more problem. It's all about resistance. Another problem is mass. Suppose the body of a body has mass m1 is equal to 23.7 0.5 gram. Another body has mass m2 which is equal to 17.6 plus minus 0.3 gram. Find the sum, find the sum of their mass. Okay, tell me the answer.
Yes, sir.
Here is plus minus.
Sir, 41.3 plus 0.8.
Exactly. So the sum yani means capital M is equals to the sum of true value is 41 plus minus 0.8 gram. Okay, the rules are basically addition, but the representation is different. That's why we are doing some problems. You know? It's a very new kind of representation for you.
Yes, sir.
It's a very new kind of representation with true value plus minus error value. Okay. So next question, one more question I will do on this combination of either addition or subtraction. Suppose the initial and final temperature of a water, the
Sir, one question.
ask.
Sir, how will we know that we should use this error in difference of two quantities? Some error in two quantities formula.
Okay, that's the third question which I'm giving to you.
Okay.
Okay, initial and final temperature of a water are basically 18 plus minus 0.5 degrees Celsius and it's 40 plus minus 0.3 degrees Celsius. Now, what is the difference in temperature of what? What is the difference in the temperature? Okay. So now here the question is, what is the difference? So difference is basically final temperature minus initial temperature. So you will get the difference minus initial temperature. Okay, is it clear now?
Yes, sir, clear.
So it's very easy. Final temperature is like 40 plus minus 0.3 degrees Celsius minus initial temperature is 18 plus minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. So what is the result? Tell me the answer.
Sir, 58 plus 0.8.
Okay. Again, I am remember the formula. You have to subtract these two things. Means 40 minus
Okay.
18 plus minus and add errors. Okay, you subtract true values, but error always get added.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's like 0.3 plus 0.5. So here you will get the answer
20,
is 22,
28,
22 plus minus 0.8
0.8.
degrees. This is the answer. Okay, now it's
Yes, sir, clear.
two formulas. Up to now I discussed how to add two errors, how to subtract two errors. Okay, now let's go to the next formula, which is quotient or product. Error in the product and error in the quotient. Next part is, this is the third formula. C, error in the product of two quantities. Error in the product of two quantities. Okay, let's do. So suppose a quantity A and quantity B are defined as Z is equals to A into B. In our first In our first case, I have discussed z is equals to a plus b, and then another one is z is equals to a minus b. Here the operation is z is equals to a into b. Okay, so in this case, the error in z is delta z upon z. Here the formula is little bit different. Delta z upon z is equals to delta a upon a plus delta b upon b. This is the formula. Okay, this is the formula. Write it down. We will use this formula in the numerical. Okay, so if z is equals to defined as a into b, so the error in z is delta z upon z is equals to delta a upon a plus delta b upon delta and delta b upon b. Okay, any question related to this formula? There is a derivation from how you can go from z to this value, but that derivation is not necessary for this case. Okay.
Okay, sir, I'm writing 1 minute.
Just right. You just know how to use this formula. That's not in your basically syllabus, and nobody is going to ask you how derive these things. Nobody will ask you. Okay. And that's the basically more mathematical terminology. And here we are doing physics. So, Siddhant, can you give me the tentatively date of your examinations?
Sir, actually, I haven't received that date.
Okay. But do you have any idea approximately date so that we can?
Sir, actually, I'm preparing for NDA.
Okay, NDA.
So maybe next year, September month, I'll have my first test.
Okay. So error in the product of two quantities.
Over.
Okay.
Yes.
Next is D, fourth one, or D. It's like error in the division or quotient. Error in the division or quotient. Okay, so here z is defined as a upon b if z is equals to a upon b. So in this case, the formula remains same. Means delta z upon z is equals to delta a upon a plus delta b upon b. The formula remains same. Okay, the formula remains same. Delta z upon z is equals to delta a upon a plus delta b upon delta b upon b. Okay, this is another formula. Take a note of this formula.
Yes, sir, done.
Okay, next, E. E is like error in the power of a quantity. Error in the power of a quantity. The power of a quantity. Okay, suppose z has a value, z is equals to a raised the power n. Okay, a raised the power n. So error in z can be defined by error in z is basically delta z over z. Okay, you just put n here a into the error delta a upon a, relative error basically. No? So this is basically relative error in z, delta z over z is equal to n delta a over a. So this is the formula. You just have to put n in multiplication with delta a upon a. There is no other option. You have to remember these formulas, or when you do a lot of problems, you will have to automatically learned these formulas. Okay, these are
Yes,
very
sir.
similar things, not different. So next, one more formula. Actually, this is the mix up of all the formulas, no? Or you can say that master formula.
Okay, sir.
Okay, final formula is like if the combination of it, if the z is given in the form of a raised the power p, b raised the power q divided by c raised the power r. Here a and b are in multiplication and divided by c raised the power. And all the terms have power p, q, and r, where p, q, and r are constant. Where p, comma q, and r are constant. Okay. So in this way, the error in z, or you can say the relative error in z, is equals to, now here first solve a into b, so here p will come in multiplication into delta a upon a. Okay, is it clear? First term. Hello.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Next term multiplication q multiplication with delta b upon b, and in denominator term there is no effect on denominator term. The formula will be same, r into delta c upon c. Okay, this is a
Yes, sir.
kind of master formula. Here multiplication and quotient all and power all three in the combined form. So this is basically relative error. In each and every formula you can convert it in the percentage error by multiplying with 100. If you multiply here with 100, so this is like a percentage error, p delta a upon a into 100. So this will convert into percentage error, plus q into delta b upon b into 100, that will again in percentage error, into r delta c upon c into 100, that's again in percentage error. So all the values in terms of percentage error. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Take a note of all the important things. Now let's do some problems on last three formulas.
Sir, the last line you wrote is the formula, right?
Which one? This last line here.
Yes, sir. Bracket one.
Bracket. It shows basically the percentage error. This is a relative error formula for relative error, na? And this is for percentage error.
Okay, sir.
And if you multiply by with 100 in all the terms, so you will get the, this is basically percentage error. Percentage error in Z, and this is percentage error in A. Error in capital A, and this is percentage error in B, and this is percentage error in C. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, let's do some problems on this last three formulas. The first problem is like, have you heard about Ohm's law?
Yes, sir.
So the problem is basically on Ohm's law, by using this percentage concept, percentage error or relative error concept. The question is, the resistance is capital R is equals to V upon I, where true value of V is equals to 100 plus minus 5 volt. Okay, plus minus 5 volt. Yeah, and current capital I is equals to, it's 10 plus minus 0.2 ampere. Find the percentage error in R. Find the percentage error in R. Solution. Okay. So here the R is like V upon I. So here you can use the formula Z is equals to A upon B. Okay. Okay, Siddhant.
Yes, sir.
So here delta R upon R. First you have to find the relative error, which is equal to delta V upon V plus delta I upon I. Okay. By using the formula of quotient rule. Now next thing, what is how you can choose your value delta V upon V? Can you tell me? By using this expression, V is equals to 100 plus minus 5 volt. What is the value of delta V here?
Uh,
What is the value of delta V here? Here V is I'm again here writing V is equals to 100 plus minus 5.
sir, it will be 5 upon 100.
Exactly. It will be the 5 upon 100. Very good. And plus delta I upon I. So this is
0.2 by 10.
0.2 by 10. Okay. So this is basically relative error, or you can directly find percentage error by multiplying it with 100. So percentage error, what is the value of percentage? Delta R over R into 100% and multiply with 100%. That will be percent. So here let's try to find the value 5 upon 100. That is 0.05 plus 0.2 upon 100, that is like 0.02 into 100%, and the value is like 0.07 into 100%, and the value is 7%. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
so the value, the percentage error in the percentage error in R is equal to 7%. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Let's do one more problem.
Sir, can you show the question? I have to write everything.
Yeah. This important question.
Sir, can you scroll a little?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm scrolling. Today we will finish this chapter, units and measurement. From tomorrow, I will start our motion in one dimension. Next chapter, okay?
Yes, sir.
Up to now, basically, we are not doing physics. We are doing some mathematics. In our basically next chapter, I will do some more mathematics, like what is differentiation, what is integration, and some properties of vector algebra and vector analysis. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
That will be very useful. Without understanding what is vector, you can't actually do physics.
Sir, in my college, we started laws of motion.
Oh.
Yes, sir, done.
Okay, so next problem. All the concept basically I've discussed related to this chapter. Now I'm doing some problems. Okay, some important problems. The next problem is, it's again based on error analysis, like the percentage error. The percentage errors in the measurement of mass and speed in the measurement of mass and speed, mass and speed are 2% and 3%. Okay, next, how much will be the maximum error, will be the maximum error, in the estimate of kinetic energy, in the estimate of kinetic energy. Okay, now I'm repeating the question. What is given here? You have the given part is the mass and speed, the percentage error in basically mass and speed. Okay, so the percentage error in mass and speed are 2 and 3%, and you have to find how much will be the maximum error in the estimate of kinetic energy. Basically, you have to find the percentage error in kinetic energy. So let's discuss what is basically percentage error in mass. The percentage error in mass is basically delta m divided by m into 100% is equals to 2%. And what the next part is given here? Percentage error in speed. So that is basically delta v upon v into 100%, which is here 3%. Okay, is it okay up to now?
Yes, sir.
Or any question? Okay, now next you have to find the percentage error in what we have to find is like percentage kinetic energy and maximum. This part we have to find. So now what we have to know, what's the formula here we are going to use for kinetic energy, estimating the kinetic energy. So the formula for kinetic energy is basically K is equals to half of mv square. Are you familiar with this formula?
Yes, sir.
That's a very basic formula, kinetic energy. Actually, I will discuss all the things about kinetic energy in our work energy and power chapter, but here just use this formula. Okay, the formula for kinetic energy. Basically, I think whole chapter is based on work done and kinetic energy. I will discuss all the things about kinetic energy, but here just formula. So K is equals to half of mv square. In this case, first the relative error, delta K upon K, which is equal to, you have to neglect this half term. There is no use of constant term in error analysis. Okay, so just neglect or leave this half term. Now start with mv square and from m. So that is delta m divided by m plus here v square. So 2 comes, the power term comes in the terms of multiplication term, 2 into delta v upon v. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir, clear.
So now percentage error is like delta k by k into 100 is equal to delta m by m into 100 plus 2 into delta v by v into 100. Okay, and here the value of delta m by m into 100 is given. It's like 2%. So here is 2% plus the value of delta v upon v into 100. This value is also given, that is 3%. So 2 into 3%. So the answer is 2% plus 6%. So answer is 8%. This is the error in kinetic energy. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, take a note of this problem. Take a note of this numerical.
Sir, I just want the last part.
Okay.
Yes, sir, done.
Okay. Now let's solve one more problem. Yeah. Next, suppose a formula is given like x is equals to a square b cube divided by c. Okay. And here the percentage error in b, the percentage error in a is basically 2%, and percentage error in b is basically 1%, and percentage error in c is basically 3%. Okay. Now you have to find the percentage error in x. Find the percentage error in x. Okay, can you solve it? Try to solve it.
Yes, sir, I'll try.
Then I will discuss. Are you facing any trouble in solving it? If you have any query, any question, then you can ask.
No, sir, I'm almost at the answer.
Okay, okay. That's great.
Sir, is the answer 10%?
Yeah, exact. That answer is 10%. So let me solve it. So here percentage error in X. Okay. So percentage error in X, delta X upon X into 100, which is equal to, first apply formula here. So here the power terms comes in terms of multiplication, delta A upon A plus 3 into delta B upon B plus delta C upon C with multiplication of 100. So that's basically that. So, okay, percentage error in A. So I have to multiply 100 with each term. Okay, delta A upon A into 100 into 100 and into 100. So this is the 2%, 2 into 2% plus 3 into 1% and plus 3 into plus 3%.
Yes.
So it's a 4 plus
4%
7
plus
plus 3,
3% plus 3%.
10. Okay, one more modification which I'm going to do in this question. If I add one more term, suppose if I give you the value x is equals to a square b cube divided by c under root d. I added one more term, and here the percentage error in d, percentage error in d, all the error are same, only percentage error in d which I added is 4%. Now can you find the percentage error in x? Find the percentage error in x. Now try to solve it. Then you have basically the complete idea of this power term. No? If you have any formula, this is the most important question. Most important question. If you can do this type of problems, then I think you are able to do all the problem related to this.
Sir, it's easy only.
It's under root d, square root of d.
Yes, sir.
And error in d and or the error are same as above. Okay,
Sir, the answer will be, I guess, 12%.
Answer is 12% because
We'll add half.
you just have to add half all the percentage, like a square b cube c you have calculated, which is 10%, plus what is the value is like half of d into delta d upon d, that is 10% plus half of delta d upon d, which is basically 4%.
4%.
So answer is your 12%. Now
12%.
I think you are, I think, very familiar with this type of question. One more question I am giving you here. Okay, suppose a geometry, something like this type of geometry, three-dimensional geometry. Okay, a three-dimensional geometry, something like this type of geometry. Okay. Yeah. So in this case, the length L has the value, exact value is 12.13 plus minus 0.02 centimeter, and another breadth is given, B is equal to 8.16 plus minus 0.01 centimeter, and height is given, H is equal to 3.46 plus minus 0.01 centimeter. Find the error in volume. Find the percentage error. Find the percentage error in volume. Find the percentage error in volume. Okay, so the percentage error in volume is like delta V upon V. So what is the formula which we have to use here? First formula, what is the formula? Formula of this kind of shape, you know. Hello, Siddhant.
Sir, I'm finding.
Okay, I'm giving you the formula is V is equals to LBH. Okay, so you're finding, you're on the way. Hello, are you solving this question?
Yes, sir, I'm doing.
That's great. So you have to find the percentage in the volume, and here all the values, and this is the formula. You just have to solve this. It's a basic simple multiplicative. All the terms are in multiplication, so
Sir, actually, I'm not getting the answer. Can you explain?
yeah. So here delta V, the relative error can be found by using this concept, like delta V upon V is equals to delta L upon L plus delta B upon B plus delta H upon H. Is it clear up to now?
Yes, sir.
So what is the value of delta L upon L? So delta L upon L is like delta L is a error value, and divide by L is its true value. Okay, so all the things given here in the data, L is equals to true value plus minus its error value. Error value is 0.02 divided by true value, which is 12.13, plus delta B is like error value 0.01 divided by B 8.16, plus error value in H is like 0.01 divided by 3.46. And you have to find basically the percentage in volume. So multiply with 100%, multiply with 100%. That will be answer here. So here the first value is like 200. Okay, 200 divided by 12.13 plus it's like 1 divided by 8.16 plus 1 divided by 3.46. Okay, so try to solve. It's your homework assignment. Okay, try to find the correct answer. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now up to clear now, or you have any trouble? Or you
No, sir, it's clear now.
It's clear now. So I'm going to stop here. Here we have finished this chapter, unit and measurement, and in our next lecture, maybe it will be on tomorrow. Okay. So in our next lecture, I will start from motion in one dimension.
So tomorrow?
Tomorrow, same time, 9 to 11.
Okay, sir.
In one dimension, motion in one dimension. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. See you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.